time is now.
Welcome once again this Wednesday evening with myself, the Geordie Yam Yam. We've got the Mighty Win, we've got Andy Bell, we've got Boki, and we've got the other twin, Peter, along with us tonight. Welcome.
We think it's
all.
Peter anyway.
Yeah, he could have literally just.
It could be Tim, but
we'll
let
him on.
We'll have to try and find out.
Music.
So we're in the middle of the week. Internationals are over. Thank God for that. We are back, and we are literally. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I am so looking forward to Saturday's game. But before we get into obviously tonight's show, let's do the housework and then we'll crack on. Welcome to everybody across all of the platforms that are watching. Thanks to all the mods that work in the background. Don't forget, people, hit that like button for us. It just helps us get further as a channel to other supporters. Subscribe, it's totally free. Hit that bell for future content. If you want to support us, you can become a member. Small monthly fee, different levels to choose from, up to yourself. If you've got a question for either of us in the panel, then throw a Q in front of it. It just helps us highlight certain ones as the chat goes on, because there's lots of people in the chat these days. So put a Q in front of it, then we've got more chance of highlighting it. Apologies, though, because it's not guaranteed to be mentioned, even if you put a Q there. So if you want a guarantee, if you've got a message that you want to scream at us, then use the $sign. Send us a Talk TV super chat, and that will guarantee that message read out. And anybody that becomes a member, or any of our beautiful members that gift the memberships out there, will be highlighted and thanked as we go on. And like I said, if you still want to join us, it's a £5 entry fee to participate in the Prediction League. Like I said, it's 3 games gone, but it's still really close from top to bottom. It is so hard to predict the right scores. And like I say, you do get points for even predicting goals and things like that. So like I say, nobody is ever a clear winner. So top 6 get a prize, top 4 with a cash, 5th and 6th will get a prezi of some description, higher than the money that you put in for your prediction league. So anyway, welcome one and all. An interesting week of events, if I'm honest with you. Lads returning from international duty, but I suppose
for how long?
Well, October's the next one, though, isn't it?
I couldn't believe it when watching it last night and TNT's put on, 1st of October.
Yeah.
A friendly.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Against Wales, and then whatever the 8th or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's the
for
middle
the
of
next
October
World
from
Cup
then.
qualifier.
March.
Crackers.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. It's really spoiling the run with the Premier League, if I'm honest with you. And like I say, having
especially when you have so many internationals.
It's crazy, especially English team. Internationals. Yeah, exactly. But I'll tell you something now. Some of our boys shone, and one of our ex-boys shone brightly as well. So we'll get into a couple of injury concerns that everybody was sparking a concern anyway. It seems as if there's not a lot really to talk about regarding that, but we'll do a quick glimpse on it. But obviously, one of the biggest talks today, you had a conversation at lunchtime all about it, is the debacle with tickets. There's been an absolute backlash for Newcastle United. They've come under fire with the 45 tickets that have been gifted to a Champions League clash with Barcelona, allocated to a private school in Dundee. It's sparked outrage amongst the Magpies faithful, who argue these should have been offered to local supporters instead. Now, I mean, 45 tickets.
Not necessarily local, Gary, to members who paid £37 a year to be in the ballot.
Yeah, listen, like I said,
wherever they may be from.
Yeah, I'm one of them. And like I said, when I went into the ballot earlier on, there was over 100,000 actually in the queue. It's absolutely, and you think about it, we are really now clawing to get tickets for any game, even the Wolves game. You know what I mean? To try and get tickets for a Wolves game now, who, bless them, you could class it as my neighbours once by. I've got a lot of family that supports the old gold. I mean, it's not their fault. It's not their problem. Somebody has to support them, I suppose. But I mean, you have got to look at it and say
Doesn't make them bad people.
It doesn't make them bad people at all. But what I'm saying is, these are. I'm not talking about league position at the minute because we aren't happy days in the league position. I'm sure that will change very soon. But for me, these guys now, you would be able to go and snip at a ticket because nobody would want to go and see us play against Wolves. Them days have gone. Them days are long gone. But regarding these tickets, I mean, obviously the fan reaction to the ticket allocation, fans have taken to social media questioning why 45 tickets for the Barcelona Champions League game were handed to a private school in Dundee. The Newcastle United Supporters Trust tweeted, "We've been inundated with messages regarding the school in Dundee being given 45 tickets, with over 100,000 in today's member sale queue and countless tickets on third-party sites at vastly inflated prices. We completely understand the ongoing frustration. We have sent this to the club and continue to push for a response." Many fans labelled the decision as bizarre and a head-scratcher, arguing that those seats would have gone to lifelong Magpie supporters and calling it a PR misstep by the club. You sent obviously a pic of this this school and the flyer and everything else, and I'm sure I've got.
That's actually their letter.
Yeah, exactly. Which is what I've got here. So I'll throw it up on the screen for those of you guys that are really interested. I'm sure there's a lot that aren't that bothered about their letter, but it just makes it a little bit of a facade, doesn't it? When you think about it, how this school, with all its wisdom, and this is what I think what rubs a little bit of salt in. We are delighted to have been offered an incredible experience of attending Newcastle Barcelona in the Champions League. The draw was made on Friday and fixture dates released on Saturday. This means that the trip has a very short turnaround. We are proposing a trip for all pupils in Form 1 to Form 6 as normal. We have a maximum of 45 places available. This is an overnight trip leaving Thursday the 18th of September, returning the 19th of September. The match is scheduled for 8 p.m. on Thursday the 18th of September. A rough itinerary of the trip, blah, blah, blah. Coach travel through duration of the tour. Match tickets, one evening meal, overnight accommodation, visit to the club shop, and the return coach back to school. The total cost of this trip will be £295, which includes a match day ticket, transport from the high school in Dundee. So when I read this, you see, I'm thinking, are the school making a coinage here? They've been gifted these tickets by
we don't know they've been gifted, to be fair.
Exactly. But
they're delighted to have been offered.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that when you've been offered an incredible experience, you see, for me, that means that they've been gifted. I can't, in all my wisdom, see how these guys. I mean, I'm not saying it's a £295 ticket by any shadow of a doubt, but what I'm saying to you is, they are making a bit of money off this as well, the school, which I don't blame them. This is a massive experience for
I don't necessarily think they are even doing that, Gary, to be fair. £295 for a night's hotel accommodation, an evening meal, a breakfast, and the travel there and back. If you stick in the ticket on top of that, I don't necessarily think the school are making anything out of it.
Well, you will get accommodation for especially school accommodation, because they won't go into a high-end hotel, and they would probably have a school linked somewhere local that would give them something, locally, even a hostel. I mean, being funny. I mean, as long as they're all together in the same dorm, it wouldn't be a problem. But for me, it's more the fact that these guys are taking 45 tickets when, like you say, there's people like myself who are MAG members. And like I said, you are scrambling at all of the scratchings, if you like, at the bottom of the paper to try and get this, to try and get yourself involved in any football these days, never mind high grade football. I mean, what do you guys think? Is it just me? Am I just blowing hot air for no reason here, or are you guys all in the same vein?
Why is it not a lot more local school? It's interesting to see what the selection process was. Why was it specifically a school in Dundee? I mean, good luck to them. I mean, it's good to be broaden our horizons, so to speak. But it just seems strange why it's a school so far away. Would have been nice to have maybe a more local school got the opportunity, but then overnight thing wouldn't be. It's a strange one for me. I don't make much sense out of it.
Not a £20,000 a year school, but maybe it's an underprivileged school in Newcastle instead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was a private school. I didn't realize it was a private school.
Yeah, 20 grand a year fees.
All right, okay. Well, that tells you everything you need to know. It's not what you know. But yeah, it's a strange one. There's so many people that in the ballots have missed out. I mean, I know Lee himself only got 2 all last year. He's not getting one this year. I didn't bother this year simply because commitments at home. I don't know when I'm going to be able to make the games. But I can see, you can understand why there's a lot of members spitting blood at this.
Okay.
But like Andy, I don't get why it's a school in Dundee. It just seems a strange place for them to have chose for to not give tickets away, but offer the school tickets. Whether it's got some sort of affiliation with somebody at the club or something like that. The other point is, as well, as we say, is it 35 quid a year you have to pay to be a MAG Plus member?
37.
37. So you're talking about the club raking in £3.7 million a year, at least if there's 100,000 people waiting in the queue. So it'll obviously be more than that, but they're raking in at least £370,000 a year from that. Surely enough, they can't do that to them fans and then let another outside organisation take tickets without being in that pool. It stinks, really. It stinks.
Random, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know if there's some kind of scheme that these kind of schools maybe sign up to, with football clubs to have this kind of thing happen where they have these events. I don't know, but I kind of agree. I mean, at the end of the day, 45 tickets is nothing really. 50 odd thousand, it's nothing. But I think I can understand still why some people would be annoyed because, like you've said, it would have looked better if they'd done that with, a local school, underprivileged kids, who don't get the chance to see their heroes play, but are, diehard fans, and they would give anything to not just watch Newcastle, but Newcastle versus Barcelona.
Yeah.
It's like biggest game in how many years? So yeah, it's a strange one. I think that's the best way to describe it. I understand the idea of, like, you need to branch out. You need to get fans from outside Newcastle. Obviously, you need to try and grow the brand, if you like. But I don't know if
As you say, Peter, 45 in the grand scheme of things, not a lot. But it's the principle.
That's what I'm saying. It's got. Hey, listen, I am all for giving kids an opportunity in life if they don't get much, out of it. But for me, this is a high-ranking game. There's lots of other the Saturday game, for instance.
Yeah.
Why not give them the weekend match against Wolves?
Yeah.
I'm sure there wouldn't be so much of an outcry for people missing out on the game on Wolves compared to the Barcelona Champions League evening. Now, it's a spectacle. I understand that.
And can you say why not? Because would the kids have paid £295 for their own trip to go and see Wolves? No, they wouldn't. Would local kids have done that?
Yes.
And damn right they would, I think.
Yeah. Well,
The only thing you can say is if the club are doing this on a game-by-game basis, so if they're always offering different schools, so say once every game they're offering a different school around the country 45 tickets, that would be a bit more like of an understanding of what they're doing. But if they are doing that, they need to come out pretty quick and just do a press statement saying this isn't sort of a one-off thing. It's a fact that we do this every game.
And that's the point. We need a statement from the club about this. Now that it's come to light,
yeah.
we need a statement from the club to explain why.
I think as well, just quickly, sorry,
Go on.
sorry, mate. Like in today's landscape as well, where, like you said, Gary, it's not like it used to be where you could get general sale tickets and you had the opportunity. These days, it's just so difficult. You've got these schemes in place, the membership, you've got the ballot. It's very frustrating for local fans to even have a chance to get a ticket. So I think that, in amongst everything else, that's the main thing I would say that makes people a little bit outraged with it.
At least if it was a local school, let's say a member's son or something school wins that, and he's got a chance for his son to go because he hasn't getting it on the ballot. At least then it's directly involving people that are within the ballot. They might be losing out, but the kids still got a chance to go.
Yeah, well, to be fair, what Ian's just done here, it was a point that I was just going to make before you guys finished your spiel. So, Ian, thank you so much, buddy, for your super chat. And you've answered the question that I asked yesterday that me and Win were talking about. Yesterday's show, Scots are not given a chance now as clubs are buying foreign players for short-term wins instead of looking for the future. So they're being left behind. Now, we mentioned this yesterday. Now, as I also mentioned yesterday, which was an absolute surprise for me, with them being on our doorstep, if you like, our neighbours, close on that northeast border, in Scotland, it's a place that we very rarely or have never scouted, according to new reports, according to Jack Ross, this new guy that's coming. And
What
obviously,
happens to be a Scotsman?
I'm going to say, and he is a Scotsman. So I think he was St Mirren background, if memory serves me right. Now, is this a sweetener towards this school? Say, if they've got, again, I don't know anything about this school, if it's an academy or whatever it is this a sweetener towards this school to say, like, listen, we'll give you this, but what we want to do is come up and bring our lads to come and have a look at your scout. Some of our scouts to come and have a look at your lads. Stop, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I'm just talking off the cuff. Are we starting to do a little bit of PR work behind the scenes to sweeten up our neighbours, our brothers, and try and make, again, going back to how it used to be? I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, England suffered internationally for exactly the way Scotland are suffering, with Premier League clubs buying into the European players rather than looking at homegrown players. So we went through the mire, and now Scotland are going through a terrible situation as we speak. But that doesn't mean that there isn't good kids there, and we could be nurtured into good players. Now, the other thing I want to mention before I finish the point on you guys. Now, Ginger Hoskins is in the chat. Now, listen, Ginger, I appreciate, mate, that you were around at lunchtime. So was Win, and you can't hear Win moaning about us repeating the same subject over and over again. Now, apart from Win, none of the other members of the panel were involved dinner times, lunchtime. I wasn't involved. I didn't even listen to it. So I just want to get this off my chest, mate. Please give me the opportunity to. And I apologise to you and you only, because it seems as though you are the only one in the chat that doesn't like what we are doing. So there you go. There you have it. So when it comes to it, like I say, I have no issues when it comes to gifting, this type of thing to kids. But again, why have we gone to Dundee and pinpointed this particular school when there must be hundreds of schools? And even, you think of the foundation that they're involved with. You know what I mean? If you're gonna give things away, then surely that should go to the kids at the foundation.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I look at it. I mean, and it's got nothing to do with the cost. The £295, because that's obviously including overnights, bed and breakfast and all that.
And here's the thing as well, Gaz. There was a kind of thought that maybe it's because Dundee High School. Oh, look what we got. Dundee High School. The very man I had the argument with, Dundee High School has got, exceptional kids or something. I've just hit the SFA website, and there is a school in Dundee with which is the official, if you like, Scottish Football Association school, and it's St John's High School,
Right.
a normal,
A standard secondary.
government school. They are the official Scottish FA high school, St John's High School in Dundee, Harefield Road, Dundee, DD3 ESY. Not Dundee High School at 20 grand a year.
And can I just say, Gary, if it is for
So
scouting
you've been
players,
whinging about the wrong school all day.
No.
What
not
he's
at
saying
all.
is the school that's been given the opportunity is a private school, whereas a mainstream
So
basic education school is not getting the opportunity.
I'm,
Whereas
I'm here for a couple of minutes to bring some controversy, as usual.
Just by
Thank you,
way of a
Michael
change. Oh, Michael,
Michael
thank you.
McIntyre, thank you, man. Appreciate that super chat, super sticker. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. We're talking about 45 tickets. 45 tickets, and it's been riots left and right all over England over this. So
I wouldn't go that far.
well, it's pretty much if you read around
All over
it's-
Newcastle, certainly.
It's all over Newcastle, not England. Yeah, you're right. They wouldn't be bothered.
Let's put it right.
so-
all over social media, nowhere else.
Yeah. So who are those people? Are those robots?
Well, they're
Who are
they're just general members. They're upset that Newcastle are making
Okay,
a PR
so
stunt.
there are people. So people are upset, right?
I just
People are
said
upset
that.
about this.
Yeah,
Okay,
but it goes
so
back
we
to
agree.
Chris. A lot of people do things on social media that they wouldn't do in real life. Like,
Oh, there's a lot of keyboard
course,
warriors,
of
mate.
course. Yeah, but people are upset. So there's no denying that people are upset.
Yeah.
So why are they upset for 45 tickets? Now you could I actually buy the argument that you could have chosen a school in Newcastle. That's a good point. But what if they done that already? What if they want to? What if the club wants to just invest, as you were saying, in other areas to grow the fan base? All fans are important, and as somebody was saying in the chat, what makes so Newcastle kids are more important than Scottish kids?
Absolutely, as far as Newcastle United's concerned, of course they are.
See, that is such an ancient view.
Well,
How could you say that?
Well, do you think the
How could
Scottish
you say
kids are
that?
going to be supporting the club in 20 years' time?
We
Or
don't know
coming
that.
to every game? Yeah, but they're not going
We
to be
don't know
coming to
that.
every
We
game.
know
Are
they're
they? They
followers.
may be supporting,
But who cares if they come into every game?
I think
because that's what keeps the actual club running. It's the people that walk through the doors and the turnstiles every
Well,
single
first of all, that's
week.
not the only thing that keeps the club running.
Yeah, well, it's the major thing that keeps.
No, it isn't.
the one thing that kept it running when it wasn't successful.
I'm going to say, what was
that's
we on
true.
TV in Championship? No.
But why do we keep going back? Why do we keep going about the championship? Why do we keep talking about that? Maybe the club is giving 45 out of 54,000 tickets.
It's
to
the occasion of the
kids
ticket.
somewhere else.
52,320.
Yeah, that makes a lot of difference. So
It doesn't
we're
make any
whinging
difference.
about that.
No, we're not
You know what I
whinging.
mean?
I think it's-
we're not
it's-
whinging.
Yeah, well, we
Chris.
are though.
But we don't,
But we
because
are
it's the
because
principle of it.
What's
It's
the
like-
what's the principle?
The principle.
The
What's the
principle
principle?
is the principle is the fact that there's people that are spending. You're one of them, and I'm not saying you're not one of them because I'm the same. I don't live in Newcastle, but I spend my money at Newcastle. I buy all the kit. I go and do everything else. And what they're doing is saying, "Thank you so much for your business, because what we're going to do now is we're going to take our business now and we're going to
That's
give it to somebody else who actually doesn't bother with Newcastle whatsoever, because what we're trying to do is throw our blankets a bit further afield." So, listen, I understand you're looking at numbers and saying 45 is a minuscule number when in the grand scheme of things, and you're absolutely right. It's a drop in the ocean when it comes to it. But for me, like I said, who gives my hard-earned cash, I am having to fight it out with a lot more for these really prestigious games. Over 100,000 people in the ballot to get a ticket, right?
The issue with the ticket, Gary, is not that they gave 45 away. It's the fact that it's only 5,000 given to the member ballot, when there are how many members in Newcastle United did they report it? How many members are there?
Well, there was over 100,000 in that in the queue.
5,000 tickets for 100,000 fans. You tell me if that is the problem with the ballot.
Well, that's what I was going to come to. That's what I was going to come to.
Not 45 tickets they gave to kids, man.
So your members in the ballot have got a 1 in 20 chance of getting a ticket. That's small enough as it stands, without giving another 45 of them away.
And especially the occasion, if you were only in the ballot once and you managed to get this ticket, you could swallow it.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
anyway, let's do this James Cuff one before it goes away.
Yeah, cheers,
James, thanks ever so much, buddy. Before we pile in on the club and talk about PR disasters, etc., are we sure the school was offered tickets by the club directly? It could have been a third party.
So let's have a statement from the club.
No, I don't think that a statement needs to be out there because I heard you guys asking for that. I think what happened, I'm just assuming, based on everything that I'm reading, is that there's two things. Either the club is trying to expand their fan base or their academy, whatever it may be. Yeah, it's Scotland. It's right there. It's another area. They could have done that anywhere. I agree. But you would be whinging if it was for some other place. If they would have went to Ireland and give 42 tickets to Irish kids, you would have been crying about it as well. If they would have done that with Leeds people, for example, or anywhere in the country, you'd be crying about it. So don't act as if Dundee is the issue. That is not the issue.
Dundee isn't the issue.
Well, here you go. This is what I'm saying. If you look at geography, Edinburgh is an hour and a half up the road, right? Easily to get to. Yeah, easy to get to. So why choose Dundee when you could? If you wanted to go to the Scottish borders, you could have gone to Edinburgh, who have got more accessibility to come to more games if they want to become a supporter.
Straight down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's fine. We can agree on that. There's a reason. There's a reason why they have done it. I'm assuming it could be if the club offer those tickets. It could be for different reasons: growing the academy, growing the fan base, whatever it may be, or it might be that because it is one of these rich schools that they might know somebody in the club, and they ask for these tickets.
And that's what's wrong.
They bought these tickets, but it doesn't fix the ballot thing, man. That's been going on for years, and people complain about it for years and years and years. And I'm sorry, but it won't go away if you build a 70,000 seat stadium. It will still continue because fans are just gonna continue to try to get tickets, and there's not gonna be enough room for everybody. So it never ends. I think. So
on the basis,
with all due respect, and I'll let you go. I'll let you go
for everybody.
Yeah, go on.
On the basis that there isn't going to be room for everybody, regardless of how big the stadium is, why give 45 tickets to somebody who's not in the ballot?
Man, well, first of all, they can do whatever they want, and people need to get used to that. The club can do how they see fit in order to grow the club or just plain simple do whatever they want. For the Carabao Cup final, people were also crying that they couldn't get to the final when more than likely players, their family members, cousins, nieces, nephews, and of every player, every director, and everybody else involved were going to the games when they probably never went before because they were complaining about it. It just happens. It will happen. They are in a position of, what would you call it? In a position that they can do as they please. So that's never going to change. That happens all the time.
I think it's all about. For me, I agree, Chris. You know, like the world we live in with, or the modern day football with directors and all that stuff. Yes, like you say about the cup final, that is a good point. You know, like when you look at who goes to these games and the directors or the sponsors and all this stuff, that is the way it is. And I totally agree. 45 tickets, that's nothing, absolutely nothing. But I can see why there'd be a bit of, I can see why some might be just a little bit pissed off, not rioting, do you know what I mean? But just a little bit pissed off with the idea with the principle of it, with it being Barcelona at home.
Well, that could be, that's an issue right there.
Yeah. And like Gary said, it could have been maybe handled better where you do this with a different fixture. I mean, where Newcastle as well, it's like the times we're living, we're living in, tickets are more expensive than ever. We're not in Chelsea, we're not in Fulham. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got young kids who would just love to local kids, I mean, who would love to get that chance. And I just think it's, I can understand, put it that way, why a fan would look at it and think, I'm shelling out my hard-earned cash here. I would love to take my son or my daughter to this match. And you've got kids in Dundee, nothing against them, obviously. I hope they enjoy it. And I hope it's an amazing night for them. But how many of them are going to be Newcastle fans? You see what I mean? Like, I can see both sides, but I just think they've maybe handled it poorly. Do you know what I mean?
Listen,
We can understand what the bigger picture is for Newcastle's idea here. We may understand it better. If they come out and say the reason that we're doing this is we're trying to do X, Y, or Z, we can go, okay, it's a long-term initiative. It's any big plan. There's always the hard work that goes into it, and the things that people don't see what the end game is. If the end game is to branch out our catchment area, great. But what you've got to remember is if you're living in Dundee, as Ian's quite correctly said, and it's probably more than 90%, they're either Celtic or Rangers. So all you're really doing is giving them an opportunity to see.
Well, that's what I think it might be. Somebody that knows somebody within the club just wanted 40 tickets for the school, 45 tickets for the school, and you could find an issue with that. That's fine. I don't see the issue of giving away tickets for schools in anywhere. If you want to grow the fan base, I do see the issue if it's kind
Chris,
of a privileged thing. But
can I just pick up
it's
on
always
that?
gonna happen.
You're on about growing the fan base for giving away these 45 tickets. Firstly, as far as I can see from just Googling while being on the show tonight, this school's never had any sort of player come out of it. It's never had sort of
Nothing.
been known as a coaching school. The second thing is trying to grow the fan base by giving 45 tickets to a school in Dundee. Dundee's got a population of 148,000 people. You're not going to get that many
No,
fans.
I don't think that was the reason. I think it's just somebody that knows somebody.
Thanks,
But
Irish.
that's not going to stop.
Yeah, for the $5. But this also happened back in 23 with Milan. But an approved provider offered the tickets to the same Dundee school, not the club. Interesting. So there's
It'd be
obviously
interesting to see it'd be interesting to see what because the main issue is the ballot. The main issue is the ballot. If it was, I don't know how even it is. I don't know, but it should be even. I mean, really, that as far as everybody should get the same amount of, I guess, tickets. If they go, I don't know, if they apply 20 times out of the year, how many games can they go to? I don't know what's a fair thing. I don't know what the system is as well, what the algorithm and how they calculate it. I'm assuming it's all computer based. It would be interesting to know that, but that is the issue. That's what people are upset about.
an interesting side view, because obviously I briefly had a look at the chat in our WhatsApp group, and obviously there's been a little bit of a debate about location and geography regarding if you're a fan or not. The Chopper here has put one in. If it's a private school, more than likely kids to be out from overseas, which is very similar to the school by myself in rugby. It is an interesting look at the reasons why they've chose Dundee. And as Ian has correctly said, 90% of kids in Scotland support Celtic or Rangers anyway. And I understand us needing to step over the border to obviously scout the area. But it just seems a really strange... it's a strange school to choose, private school, that can obviously afford to do things like this. So, like I said before, to me, it seems to be a win-win situation for the school, because the school have got to be making something from it, or they wouldn't even... entertain it. So, like I say, for me, it's a bit of it leaves a bit of taste in my mouth because of the kids, not just locally, but I say, if they want to cast the net, there's closer nets to cast at home. And Ian's also put Berwick School. Berwick School. It is an English school or an English town, but obviously because of its location, it's in Scotland.
I agree with that, actually, but we need to get over this here, because Nicholas Simpson shout out to you. It says offer tickets to cup games, not the biggest game of the season. We don't know if that's going to be the biggest game of the season. That's a Champions League game, first one out of them all. The biggest game of the season, we don't know. Could be a Carabao Cup, FA Cup, could be anything. We're not.
But as an event, though, Chris,
it's certainly the biggest
I get it.
game of
I
the
get it.
season.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't the game of the season, man. Come on, get out.
Right
If
now,
we play
it
the FA
is.
Cup, if we play the FA Cup final, is this going to be? You
That's
gonna
not at
remember
St James's Park.
at St James's Park, it may well be the biggest game. I mean,
Sometimes we say things that make us look so small. I'm tired of defending us, man. But we got to get out of this small club mentality.
It's not about that. I mean, I think,
but it
Not
is.
that at all.
these.
I
these
get
games,
that it's an important
these
game.
Games like PSG at home and the other Barca game, fans remember those games for years. It's not
Well, of
necessarily
course.
about.
I
like,
cried during the PSG game at work, so I know what it meant.
Yeah,
I don't have
there
to be
you go.
explained what it meant. I know, because we
But
were talking
it's not
about the
big
emotional
as in, like,
attachment that I.
We're going to win a trophy or anything. That's not
Yeah,
the
so-
context I'm talking about. As in, it's a big game. It's only 3 points, but the occasion, though,
Yeah,
the
it's a cool
sentimentality
occasion.
is-
It's a cool occasion. Yeah, so because I'm a little bit because I'm dealing with people telling me I don't know the emotional attachment. I
I'm not
cried at
saying-
work.
Chris, I'm not
I
saying
didn't
you
say.
don't.
I didn't say you were. I didn't say you were. I'm saying I'm just speaking for myself here. That's it. I'm saying people they say that you don't get the emotional attachment because you're not from here. You don't get Steve over there telling me that I need to go follow another club. People call me a glory hunter. What the hell? What? I'm hunting in the wrong spot. If I'm a glory hunter, in the wrong spot, I'm hunting. So all of that BS is really when people don't have an argument, they say stuff like that. But I agree that Barcelona game is a good game, an important game,
Tonight,
and quite honestly,
Paul
that's why these people chose Barcelona because they want to go see Barcelona and probably more Barcelona than Newcastle. So that's why I think it's a privilege thing. They just saw an opportunity. They're close to Newcastle, so they're going to do that. That's more than likely wrong, but again, that doesn't fix the book because people were whinging about the ballots Monday before they even knew about this.
Burgos is saying it's obviously not from the club directly, and it's from an individual connected, like Chris is saying. It's obvious, right? If that's the case, let the club come out and say, by the way, this whole furore about done nothing to do with us.
Well,
We
in
didn't
actual fact,
give them the 45 tickets.
Yeah, the Gunner Lowdown here has put something in that is similar to what you've just been saying. Could also be for partners and commercial. Some tickets are allocated to official club partners, sponsors, corporate clients for promotion and business purposes. So we don't know that. I
Right.
think
So
that's
in the light of the furore that's occurred today, predominantly, let the club come out and say, hey, well, we didn't give them 45 tickets. The tickets were donated by one of our sponsors. And that makes it perfectly fine as far as I'm concerned.
Apparently, I'm reading it's 3 schools, so it's in total 150 tickets.
Well,
I haven't.
Don't say that.
I certainly haven't seen that. We are knackered.
yeah, I saw that in the
Proves it,
chat
well,
earlier. I didn't know whether that was correct because I hadn't had a chance to have a look at it.
Few people put it in. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just
No,
repeating
that's what I
this.
said. I've just seen that in the chat myself. It's apparently three schools. So
Can I flip it just out there, just to play devil's advocate? Would everyone have an issue if it was, for example, there's the Alan Shearer Foundation where a lot of kids go for whatever difficulties to whether maybe
Not at all.
Nobody's going to tell you they have an issue with that because of what you just mentioned.
no.
Although some might think about it.
What I'm
Trust
saying
me.
is, would it not make more sense, and you're going to get a lot less backlash if it's a local school for local kids, and also for some,
It's a local school for local kids.
yeah. So all I'm saying is that all I hope is when the kids come from Dundee, they enjoy it, and blah blah. Maybe we can get an answer of what it's all about.
Look, the only thing that we know is that we don't know.
know.
The only thing that we know is that we don't know because it could be anything really.
What we
But
do
it's
know
a-
is that Dundee High School, £20,000 a year private school, have sent a letter to their pupils saying
Yeah,
that
to
for
sign up.
295 they
And
can go down.
if they weren't numpties and did that, nobody would ever know about it. But they did that and it went viral amongst Newcastle fans. You see, that's the
I think
that's the
at the
issue.
end of the day, every club, the community is important for every club.
100%.
Whether it's Newcastle, whether it's Sunderland, whether it's Everton, Liverpool. You know what I mean? That's not to say that like fans outside the area are not important. Of course,
I
that's not
might
to
go
say
and
that.
build a new stadium in Dundee.
Connor's just sent me this. The parent was unhappy due to the fact that we were specifically referring to this as Newcastle versus Barcelona tickets being supplied to a private school in Dundee that charges up to 20k a year per pupil. I was just wondering if you were going to do an article that mentions how 2 state secondary schools in Dundee have also been allocated 50 tickets per school for the Newcastle Barcelona match. Harris Academy and St John's School. It is not just private schools that get offered these tickets. So there you go. So it is 3 schools.
Well, funny enough, he's mentioning there St John's School.
St John's, which is what I said.
And
Is this
I've
something to
just
do-
Googled the Scottish FA, and St John's School do have excellence in the field of football.
I think this is a networking situation, and like I said, at the end of the day, I don't know, but a lot of these.
But I'd like to know where that's come from, by the way.
Well, it's just been sent. Connor, obviously our roaming reporter, has sent that through.
I'm not disputing it. I just
No.
like to know.
But like I say, because like I said, I've seen it in the chat, and there you go. It was there.
I speak for the minority here, but Geo2, and you're spot on. You're not a local, so we cannot serve you here. You know, that's how it feels like sometimes. And listen, I'm not trying to be a victim, but that's how it feels like. You got to justify yourself all the time, and it's to me it's an issue. To me, it's an issue. I think Boki might agree with me about the only local. No, actually, I'm lying. Boki is in the majority. When I went to Newcastle, everybody was nice other than Mighty Win. Everybody was champion. And it is a lie, though, that everybody's Newcastle fan. I talked to my people in the hotel. Grace Hotel, great hospitality. They got a squeaky toilet, but that's for another day. The people on it, they had not a clue about Newcastle United. I was like, what? The last said, nah, my boyfriend likes it, but I'm not into it. So that shocked me a little bit. But the vast majority of Newcastle people are welcoming. They want you. I actually did have a lass in the lobby that overheard me and Betsy talking about we're going to the game, etc. And she got in the conversation, and she was like, I thought she was going to be mad. I thought she was cut from the same cloth of Mighty Win and, you know, all the rest of the twats that are the gatekeepers. And she was so happy. And I apologized, actually, for, you know, I'm sorry you couldn't get a ticket. And she was like, no. If I had a ticket, I'd rather give it to you because I want you to experience what Newcastle is. And I wanted to cry right there because, I you know, it's unbelievable. So the vast majority of Newcastle citizens are great people. But you get these people that, you know, have a scanner and they want to, you know, scan your Newcastle, your Geordie ID if you're a Geordie enough to be in Newcastle. So there are people like that. But I mean, Chris, I must clarify the majority.
You're an adopted Geordie, mate. Don't worry about that.
Hey, I appreciate that, man.
You see, I'm not one of these people with a scanner because I kind of made it sound like I was.
No, you're definitely not. You're definitely not. Win, Andy Bell, they're all going around with the scanner, man, just to make sure you're Geordie enough. You know, and that it's an issue. That's
I think at the end of the day, with clubs, like it's that balance, though, isn't it? Where, like, you know, at the end of the day, it's Newcastle United. It's the same as every other club in their own town, their own city. So, like, that has a meaning. Otherwise, you would just rent out stadiums every week around the country at different locations, and the location wouldn't mean anything. You know what I mean? So, like, it's Newcastle United. So, therefore, of course, the community is important. The local fans, the majority of the club is, I would say, the heartbeat of the club. A big part of that, obviously, for any club is the local fans, whether it's Newcastle or anyone else. That doesn't mean to say that, like, you have to ignore fans like yourself, Chris, international fans, because they are important. You are important, Chris. Like that, like you say, with the brand of the club as well, that is important to tap into. But it's a balance, though, isn't it? You have to.
If I wasn't important,
that community feel. There you go, Chris. There you go.
I wouldn't have this. This is from Peter and Tim's very own dad. A picture of the old St. James's Park, painted by himself, by the man himself. So there you go, man. Appreciate that, mate. I have it right here always.
Good
So-
stuff.
He didn't give you one win because you're not a proper fan.
Balky's a Mackham, that's why he's keeping quiet.
Oh, hey, come on. Chucky the Mackham. Chucky the
You
Yeah,
wanted
Mackham.
to keep that quiet as well for a bit longer, didn't you, Bobby?
Did I?
That's right, baby. Mighty quit.
This is damning by faint praise. You're more loyal than Isaac.
Well, that's not saying much, is it?
Exactly.
No, but look, the issue, how big that everything ties together. Everything ties together. How big does the stadium need to be? Because if you're talking like 30,000, 40,000 people are waiting for the ballot, and only 5,000 are allocated. 5,000. No, allocated. I mean, given tickets given is
No, but
5,000.
100,000 were in the ballot for the
Okay,
Barcelona tickets.
I think sometimes on your phone it says like there are 30,000 people ahead of you or something like that when you look at it, something like that.
122,000, I think, was the highest.
Well, but no, I think on the app. Correct me if you're wrong, Gary. If I'm wrong, Gary. On the app, it tells you how many people are ahead of you, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
That's all based on where
So
you are in the queue, though.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. It could be like 20,000 people are ahead of you, and that's you're knackered. So
You've got your little stick man walking across the line, waiting to the end to fall off.
If that is the case, you can't tell me that we cannot and will not fill an 80,000 seat stadium, because I think that it will be filled every time.
I think 80,000 would be.
If Mighty Win doesn't believe that because he doesn't trust the Geordies, but I think they will fill the stadium. If if it's 100K every week trying to get in the game,
No, that's not 100. That's not 100K for every ballot. That was 100K for the Barcelona ballot.
I think on average, it's probably going to be 40, 50, though.
That's enough to fill the stadium.
I would certainly say between 30 and 40.
I'm going to say there's
so
been high
that's-
numbers.
But
for
that's
virtually
on
every
an
game,
individual match basis, not for every single game, and being able to afford every single game for the whole season.
To be fair,
Yeah, but if every week that
if you
Go on, Boxer.
can't fill some games, all you do is give a few tickets to some schools in there, Dundee.
there we go, baby. There you go.
Hey, well, you need to patent that idea, Bogey.
Absolutely, mate. You'll make a fortune, kidder. Anyway,
And a lot of enemies.
45 minutes on this subject. I think we've done more than enough.
I'm gonna head out, guys, but you guys take
right.
care and keep
All
on
right, have a
going.
good-
Nice one.
Cheers, everybody.
Take care.
I just had to come in and whinge a little bit. See you
That's
later.
all right. Yeah,
Yeah,
but you're
yeah.
worth it. You're worth it. So
Next
the lads
subject.
have come back from international duties, and obviously there was a couple of concerns, especially Wissa was the main concern.
That was my main concern.
Yeah,
definitely.
73rd minute came off. Obviously doing really well for Congo, 2-0 up, and unfortunately then going on to lose 3-2 in the dying minutes to Senegal. So by all accounts, he's even though, like I say, there was rumours of this ankle injury flaring up, there is no issues at all. And obviously we've seen the likes of Waldemada in his Toon at Benton with the training with the lads. Now he's come under some fire, and this is one of the conversations I was going to ask you guys: is it deserved, or is it, as this as Andy was saying previously, the lad who was knocked back from his girlfriend and the two girls, and he said, "I didn't like you anyway." So Nick Voltemada, a perfect answer to astonishing Bayern Munich roast after 69 million fee, was mocked. The 6'6" has been subject to some cutting comments from Uli Hoeneß and Mario Basler in previous days. Newcastle United knew by Nick Voltemada has shrugged off his record 69 million price tag and is confident he can make Bayern Munich eat their words, says the German. Bayern tracked Voltemada during his 23-goal campaign last term, but copped out to the move, who presented with the final demand for his services by Stuttgart. During the aftermath of deadline day, Bayern's honorary president, Uli Hoeneß, said Newcastle overpaid for Voltemada, while Bayern legend Mario Basler made a grim forecast for the striker, warning he'll have big problems in Newcastle. Basler also blasted Uli Hoeneß, said it correctly, Walter Marder isn't worth 69 million. And he'll have big problems there. I don't think Walter Marder will prevail in Newcastle. In my opinion, this move was the wrong one for him. Now, I suppose you can throw a lot of crap over that quite comfortably. And you can say
so
to
he's not
yourself,
worth
this is
60, but he's not worth 69, but he is worth 60.
60.
Which is
That's
what they
what
were
they
going to
offered.
bid
Yeah,
for.
that's
the
what
wrong
they
move
offered,
for
yeah.
him. So what he's saying is that he should have went to another club, not really dissing his
Should have went
ability.
to Bayern.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. But I mean, the lad, look, he's confident that he can do it. Else, I don't. Do you honestly believe a 23-year-old, if he didn't think he got the ability, would come and risk it in the Premier League, knowing it's obviously one of the biggest leagues watched globally? Or is it just another player that wants to put himself in the shop window? Do you think it's have they got a right to say what they've said, that he's not worth 69 million? Or have they got a right to say he's not going to get it to make the grade at Newcastle? I don't think they've got either.
In today's market, Gary, is anybody worth the actual transfer fee? I mean, back before
Ridiculous.
COVID, there was players with like 35 million going, good players. Now, I mean, if you're a decent winger nowadays, you're going for 55 million. It seems like any decent winger now. Madueke, obviously Alanga, there's many others.
Kudos.
And
And
in
clubs also.
Waldemar, I mean, how much of a strange individual would you be if someone's going to throw a massive contract at you? Bearing in mind that you wouldn't have been on great money at Stuttgart. You've got an opportunity there. You're German's potential future striker, and you've been asked to go to play in front of the Geordies at a great stadium, 52,000 every week on the way up. Whether he has small doubts in himself or not, I've always thought of top sportsmen, if you don't have small doubts about yourself, what gets you up in the morning? Why do you practice? You've got to better yourself. You're not born brilliant. You've got to make yourself better. So he's going to need to, of course, there's going to be elements to his game that's going to take time. He needs to get to know his teammates. Bear in mind, he's never really trained with them until today at all. So God forbid he come on for 20 minutes in the weekend and touch a ball 4 times and not score or get an assist, and everyone go, oh, well, they've overpaid. Well, let's give the lad a bit of time. He was only on the pitch 6 minutes in the first game and he got an assist. Yes, his first half performance, not only just him, Germany were poor in the first half against Ireland, but he got an assist. I mean, how many times do you see Mo Salah not touch the ball in 90 minutes? He gets the ball in 91st minute and scores a winner for Liverpool last season. I'm not saying he's a Salah, but
No. That's spot on.
So let's not write him off yet.
I think the first thing to say about the fee is it's not his choice. We've decided to pay that for him. So he hasn't said, this is how much I'm worth. We went in and made that bid and been happy enough to pay that for him.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that we're going to have to be as fans with that lad is a little bit patient.
Absolutely.
People are saying that he's been brought in as an Isak replacement. He hasn't. He's been brought in as the Isak potential replacement. He's a rough talent and he's going to need time to develop. He's never played in the Premier League. He's going to need time to learn the Premier League side of things. We can't expect him to come in and be an Isak type character straight away.
Yeah, well, it was long back when we were talking that it was going to be a Wilson replacement and an Asula replacement because obviously Asula was potentially going the other way, wasn't he? I mean, like I said, I as we've seen from umpteen professionals previously that have graced our turf, not everybody hits the ground running. I've not seen anything from Madueke. From Elanga. I've just seen Madueke and then it's in my mind. From Elanga yet in a black and white shirt. And like I said, he is Premier League proven. But the pressure playing for another club at a different ground under, the roar of St James's Park is a little bit different, isn't it, to the Forest crowd? And that's not me dissing Forest fans at all because I've been to, the Forest ground and it is a lovely little ground. But it is a strange situation we find ourselves these days because if it seems as though clubs and it doesn't and this is why I respect Eddie Howe to a degree because all the crap that he's just been through with Ratface and all of a sudden, he keeps his head down, his chin up, and he gets on with the job. Doesn't diss anybody, and he still hasn't discredited him for all the crap that he's given him. And yet you've got these professional people that are too quick to throw their little penny's worth into the mire, again, to try and unhinge a player and in a new venture, I suppose. But yeah, I was a little bit, again, another bitter taste in my mouth from and somebody I respected as well, Mario Basler, very good professional in his day. But I think it was an unwarranted gesture. Like I say, I just think they've got to give the lads, as Bauke said, a chance to prove himself, yes or no. But it may not be this season. Sorry, mate.
He's probably not got a clue where he's going to be staying yet.
Well, I say he's probably still in a hotel somewhere.
He's going to be a lot of other things on his mind, not just banging the ball in the back of the net for us at this moment in time. Let's let him get settled.
You can't say that, Andy. That is the only thing that's important in his mind at the moment, right?
Part of the fun is with signing like Waldemar is that journey from,
of course it is,
seeing a player who comes from a different league, different country, and you see the early days where they might struggle a little bit, trying to find their feet, and then eventually they'll explode and they'll come good. Like, that's the journey that we're gonna go on, and that's the fun of it, when you see you reap the rewards of backing a player like that, hopefully, who will then show the potential that he's got. And for me, Wissa is more of the Isak replacement, because he is ready-made, Premier League experience. He knows the league kind of inside out, really. And
do we see the two of them grace the field of play, though?
Hopefully, at some point. I would like to see that. I mean, I think Wissa would be the number one. Personally, I think if I'm trying to second guess Eddie Howe, I think he would have put Wissa in as the main man first, and just let Waldemar find his feet, bring him on maybe as a sub.
20 minutes or so.
Yeah. The thing is, though, with Wissa, though, he's coming back late, isn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't come. I think he gets back today.
Right. So I just wondered, does that then affect Eddie Howe's thinking?
Well, if you think he's only going to have, even if he gets involved, you've got to think, was it 14-hour flight, I believe Wynn said. So you've got to think the jet lag. I mean, don't get me wrong, these guys are, they are well looked after while they're on the flight. It's not as if they don't get looked after, but you've still got some recovery body-wise to do, because it is a haul on the body for a distance flight now, especially to be, he's played, not full 2 games, but he's done well on that left-hand side. Again, such a utility player, isn't he? Somebody who can play out on that left, looks comfortable, can play through the middle, looks comfortable, and he just wears the badge on his arm, doesn't he? He carries it. That it doesn't matter whether he's playing for club or country. He just doesn't change the mindset of wanting to win, and I think that is a godsend for Newcastle at the minute. Somebody with that attitude. I think he'll be a definite starter, but again, it depends on what he feels like and how he comes in tomorrow.
I think we need to get out this mindset as well of calling the 2 players the replacements for the players that were here.
No.
Now them players will forget.
They're gone. Yeah,
they're gone. These 2 players are what we've got now, so we'll discuss them as individual players.
Bye.
Yeah, well, that's it. They're gone. So now these 2 players are what we've got, and we'll just discuss them in their own right. You don't say, he was his replacement, he was his replacement. That's bullshit. Now we need to look at each of them for their own qualities and their own what they bring to the team.
Yeah.
As I say, we need to get out this mindset of, he was his replacement, he was his replacement. Because I don't think either of them were particularly perfect replacements for either person that they got. So,
but they could be better.
Well, that's it. They could be.
In their own way, as daft it looks, they could fit the mould a lot better than the guys that have gone.
I wasn't trying to. I meant sort of images of the people that.
Yeah. We could never judge them like for like, because then you're putting yourself up for failure, aren't you? Straight away. So yeah, I agree with that. sentiment, as you said. We can't look at them and grade them like for like.
And it's not beyond the realms of possibility. I think Asula probably starts on Saturday, if I'm honest. Yeah, I think he probably starts just with us travelling, time differences, and I think he starts. Yeah.
Well, I tell you, I can't wait for tomorrow night. Try to pick that team tomorrow is going to be fun with
It's
you.
an odd start. I might just think
right.
anyway.
No, okay. So does anybody here, apart from Andy, obviously, think that Asula has got any chance whatsoever of starting on Saturday?
No.
Because I don't.
I think
Not a chance in the world of Asula starting on Saturday.
I think he'll put in either Wissa or Valdemir. I think one of them will start. I would. That's what I would have a guess at.
I think
Absolutely.
I have a feeling.
I don't know which one.
I have a feeling it'll be
Waldemar.
Waldemar. I'd like Wissa, but I think it'll be Waldemar because of the
travel.
Yeah,
and the injury. Like I say, I says that's all we need. The referee gave Wissa no protection at all yesterday, right throughout the game. When he went out, and then when he was put through, I don't know if you watched the game, but when he was put through, and he ran, and he more or less fell over because of his well, I thought it was because of the kick he'd got not long beforehand. Did you see it? Did any of you guys see it? No.
No, I saw the highlights. I didn't see.
I'll get it. It was comical. It was comical. I mean, what did I put in the? I put laugh.
I think it's safe to say, lads, I'm definitely on my own with the thought of Sula starting.
I think you are.
I think one thing with that, Andy, as well.
Taxi for Andy.
Yeah.
I didn't say I wanted him to start. I just think Eddie will start.
Put him in prison. Get the bars up.
I think what we need to remember as well, though, is now Eddie is pretty much becoming desperate to get a win. So can he afford to start with Asula? I mean, it's gone kind of under the radar because of what's happened is we lost 2 games. We didn't win the last 2 games of this last season. We haven't won 3 games of this season. We won no pre-season games. That's a hell of a poor record. And it's went completely under the radar because of, and quite rightly, because of what's been going on at the club. But now that excuse isn't there, he really has to start picking up results. He really.
I think Eddie knows the sooner you get the first win, the better, obviously.
Yeah.
And he'll know that. Yeah,
absolutely.
I agree.
I mean, there's some. There's been some interesting games, to be fair. I've watched a few. I've watched a lot of highlights. I thought Bruno looked amazing, if I'm honest with you. Tonali looked really good. I like watching the English boys. It's nice to see all 3 of them get starts. Obviously, Dan Burn in the first game, and Tino, who again looks solid at left back. Really interesting to watch him play now at left back, and seems to be owning that spot to a degree. And like I say, is it time for Lewis Hall to get back into the team? Have we missed that natural left footer supplying the likes of Waldemar or Wessa in the middle? Because I think that's the problem when you've not got 2 out-and-out natural footers on either wing, where you're having to dig it back and obviously change the direction of play and more or less stop play to get a crossing. I think momentum sometimes can be lost as an attacking team by doing that, by having your non-dominant foot on the wrong side of the field.
I've just learned as well, Congo's got the same time difference to UK, so I might need to take that statement back. I thought there might have been a bit of a time difference. Thank you for putting that in the comment, whoever you were. But I still stand. I think Eddie, he's quite stubborn with this, so isn't he, Eddie? If he goes with something, and look, it's not been failing, it's just we haven't been getting over the line. 2 of the 3 games we've been the better side. So I've just got to sneak suspicion he's starting.
And three of the three were having not a striker.
Exactly. I
know what you mean, though, Andy. I know what you mean, because he does. He puts his faith in players, and he likes to then have that faith be rewarded. Like players like to kind of reward that faith. So I kind of see where you're coming from. Don't get us wrong. But if I had to bet on it, I would probably say I think he'll put in one of the new signings.
Irish Assassin is saying we really need someone like 3-0 on Saturday.
Absolutely.
This will be the start of the season, and that is the point for me.
Interesting from Opta, guys. I was sorry about that when I just jump on board. Opta have got us down for a 3% winners predictions, with obviously Liverpool as the outside favourites, Arsenal, PSG. I think they're doing PSG a disservice there, to be honest with you. Man City, Barca, Chelsea, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Inter Milan at 3%, and then Newcastle at 3%. I'll take 3% all day long. I wasn't even expecting us to be on that league table, if I'm honest with you. What about you guys?
World Club champions, only 7%.
Yeah, crazy.
Well, European champions, Champions League champions, 12%.
I want one game at a time, lads.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
we'll see how we go.
We're talking this afternoon, and there's a few of me pals saying I cannot wait for January the 31st for the, well, provisionally 31st anyway, for the Liverpool renewal. When they say, we've got to beat them then, we've got to beat them then. I have bigger aspirations. What I would love is to meet Liverpool in the Champions League final with Isaac up front, and then we'll beat them. What would that do, eh? Yeah, there you go, son. That'll teach you.
If Carlsberg did pipe dreams,
If Carlsberg did dreams, and they did it with Dan Burn last season, so that'll do for me.
Yeah, it's funny though, because like I say, even his national fans now are going against him. If we fail to qualify for the World Cup, it will be down to Alexander Isak and Liverpool Football Club. He put going on strike to earn more money ahead of staying fit enough to represent his country. So he isn't well liked there.
Well
as
said, Frederick Kipperfeld. What a name!
What a name! That's what quality name. And obviously there's lots of people now, and again, I was in absolute stitches to watch a 40-plus-year-old man talk about calling us tin pot because we designed this burger in honor of the Swede that's just left us with Swedish meatballs and stuff like that. That's been done, and I must admit, how somebody can do a podcast, a social media show on this bloody Swede burger, whatever it's called. I just laughed all the way. It's crazy. Fresh agreement between Premier League and Manchester City over associated party transactions could unlock Newcastle's ability to spend big money in January. This landmark deal may pave the way for club leverage, new PIF-linked sponsorships, and final complete transformative deals this summer window. We've had a talk about this.
The only problem with that, Gary, sorry to jump in, is the fact that in January, if we are wanting to sign top draw players, they will already be cup tied because they will have played for other Champions League teams. That's the problem with signing in January in the Champions League. That the players you're signing, if they're if they're top quality, presumably they're already playing for Champions League
from
sides.
South America.
Unless from South America, well,
pension rotten away because they've got 50 top players.
Yeah, absolutely. But like I said, it's an interesting one. And like I said, I'm still not savvy on this. I think there's going to be a lot more information come out of the Man City and Premier League situation before long. But that's where we are. And really, I mean, there ain't, like I say, a lot going on regarding news, but I did want to give a bit of a shout out to young Sam Alabi, who is obviously our under-17s kid. He captained England to a 7-5 victory over Germany the other day.
7-5. My God, we need some defenders.
Yeah, he scored a cracking goal, to be fair, young Sam. This 4-team tournament in Germany had already seen Sam Alabi and the England under-17s win 2-1 against both Venezuela and Israel. Tuesday was the final match with England under-17s up against the host in Duisburg. Sam Alabi turned 16 in July, and the teenage midfielder is a very exciting prospect. Today's crazy game seeing England run out to eventual 7-5 winners, and Sam Alabi scoring England's 6th in the 60th minute before he was subbed in the 69th minute to have a rest to an ovation from his fellow countrymen. Did really well. We've also had 2 goalkeepers involved in tournaments of the under-19s. George Mayer sat this one out on the bench, while the teenage NUFC colleague Dowell had the unusual honour of conceding 5, but still being part of a team that won by a comfortable winning margin. So there you go. So we a couple of players.
Comfortable winning margin, 7-5.
Yeah, by 2. I do love it when these guys write reports. It is good. And like I say, the only real thing to mention now is obviously we've got the what we got tomorrow. We've got me and you lunchtime looking and digging up reports. We're going to do something a bit divvy. We're going to do a hit and miss show. We're going to have a look at Eddie Howe's boys since he's took tenure, and we're going to have a look, see if they've been a hit or a miss for the club going forward. And obviously we've got 2 new boys, well, I could say 5 new boys, but we haven't really seen much of yet, so we can't really give an opinion on that yet. But we will have a look at it and any other news that's going around. And the other thing is we're back tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, and we'll be doing the preview of the game on Saturday, which is Wolves, and it's a 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday at St James's Park. So, like I say, have we got anybody coming on from the Wolves?
Working on it as we speak.
Right, good lad.
Black Country.
Yeah, the Black Country mob coming to get you. It's the only time I can talk proper is when I can talk to somebody.
You can talk to Tab.
Gary, if we struggle, can you shave that beard off and just pretend to be a Wolves fan?
Oh, I could do. I could just come, just cover my face up if you like with some studs. Anyway, that'll be for another day. But there you go. It's been an interesting one. Like I say, it's never dull on this show.
There's always something.
Is there anything that you gentlemen want to add before we say ta-ta?
Few thoughts about the Wolves game, but I'll leave that for you lads tomorrow night.
No, go on.
No.
You won't be with us tomorrow night.
Have you said?
Well, just a few. I was just wondering about Joe Linton, because he's, from all accounts, he's like he should be fit. I think from what people are saying. So I was thinking, do you bring him back in, or do you let Ramsey cook?
Apparently, my last series he's fit already.
What would you do?
I'd be tempted to keep Ramsey in and let him do his thing.
I would as well.
Do we know that Ramsey is 100% fit? That's the only thing.
No, we've heard nothing, mate, to be fair. Nothing.
Right.
I don't know. All we got was a swollen ankle.
Right.
So I would imagine now, having 2 weeks off, he should be back. But, Joe
he's got a decision to make, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's what we wanted, though,
well, that's
wasn't
the beauty. That's the
that's
beauty
great.
right now.
Yeah, thanks for that, Connor.
Totally.
I forgot to mention.
We're in uncharted terms here, where we're looking at the midfield going, who can we start?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Wolves have got 2 Brazilian players in the centre of their midfield as well. They've got Gomez and Andre, so that would be interesting.
As long as they're 2 Argentinians,
that would have been
then
good.
they'd be kicking lumps out of it.
Yeah, that might not be a bad idea starting Joe Linton if it was 2 Argentinians with it.
That's it. That might change the decision
That
making.
would be a red card waiting to happen.
Yeah, I think you're right. But again, it goes this way. Also, I think if Ramsey's fit, the way he started, you've got to see in the first half.
First 15 minutes, he was exceptional.
Yeah, he had a couple of good runs from deep. He put the cross in from the left-hand side where Sula took a touch and it was blocked. For me, I think if we can start energetically, he's a key player in that type of plan. So I'd like to see him start, especially if we're not starting with 1 or 2 new strikers, and at least we've got the energy and the impetus to go forward. Whereas Waldemar Wissa is probably a little more calculated, more quality up top, less chances.
Well,
So it's
Congo,
okay, Wolves- I know
Congo
Wolves-
yesterday played a 4-1-4-1 system, and or the day before, whenever it was, anyway.
Yeah, well, that was England yesterday.
They played 4-1-4-1 with Wissa on the left, and I'm thinking, can you imagine 4-1-4-1 with our back four? Imagine Chow as the holder, Bruno and Tonali in the middle of the four. Wissa on the left or the right, whichever, and Voldemort up front. I like the sound of that, mate.
I would probably go with somebody like Tonali who can control the game a little bit in that deeper role. Elliot Anderson type role, somebody who's a bit dogged, who's going to go side
I
to
think
side.
you're wasting Tonali there, like.
Hard to do that role. He's got on the ball.
You're not really, because what you've got is a double pivot with either, whoever you have on your left hand side. You've got to have a forward thinking guy. You've got to have somebody.
Yeah, but I'm talking about 4-1-4-1.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's exactly the same as what we were watching with England yesterday. You've got your flat four with your two fullbacks that can push on. If you get a centre half sat in the middle of your back four and your mid four.
England were 4-2-3-1 yesterday, weren't they?
No, they weren't.
No.
Nowhere near.
But for me, I thought they were.
Well, there you go. You're watching a different game again.
In 4-1-4-1 is very similar to what we're playing now.
To some degree, you're right. Yeah,
in that number one, then you're not really changing the team.
It's exactly the same. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
the same.
But
Yeah,
the only difference is when we do 4-5-1, we go flat rather than having the one in the back.
That's the point I'm making. Yeah. Play the three centre backs, but with Chow, who's got the pace, in the holding role at the back, and then that allows both Bruno and Tonali to go up.
I don't think you can do that at home when you're
Being
going more
negative, innit?
defensively.
Oh, I wouldn't want to do it away.
Well, I did say a couple of weeks ago on the show, I think, long term, we might go
The main thing is, with the personnel that we've got now,
we've got options.
we've got options. Exactly, Andy. We've got
I
options.
think Voldemort behind Wissa.
And how long is it since we had options?
In time.
Can I ask a quick question? If we don't win against Wolves, is Eddie beginning to get into trouble?
Okay.
Well, that'll be his
Come on.
12th game. Well, the 12th winless game, if you're counting.
Well,
the
if
end
you're
of last
counting
season.
6 for 7 friendlies, whatever
Yeah,
it was.
where
I
he
think
mixed
if
and
we don't-
matched.
I
So
think if we don't win against Wolves, that's Champions
I think-
League just about gone.
yeah. I think
It'd certainly be very, very difficult to make that up. But that's why, for me, that the transfer window was only a 7.5 out of 10 instead of a 8-9 out of 10.
It's a big game, isn't it?
Because the time it took them to do the deals they did cost us 7 points. If we'd had that squad before we'd kick the ball,
Yeah, you've got to let the new players have an impact, and
yeah,
like I've watched football long enough to know like that. Yes, it would be playing catch up. Don't get me wrong, but it's such a long season. I know it doesn't. It feels like it might feel like a disaster. Oh shit, still haven't won. But in reality, I mean, I remember Bobby's sort of like, was it his third season? We finished third, and we had a terrible start that season. Because the expectations were up. We got Champions League the season before. We started the new season, and I think we didn't win. Well, I think we won one in like
9 games, wasn't it?
At this season, we beat Arsenal at Highbury and went top at Christmas.
yeah.
I'm thinking of the season after.
Right.
it's
The season after when we'd done mint and we'd got Champions League, and then we started the following season not that great. We did win, don't get me wrong. We beat West Ham, I think, first game, but then we went a really bad run.
Yeah, I think we won
that.
1 and 9, didn't we?
We are
Something like that. So, and then we ended up finishing third. So I know it was a different time, fair enough, but like, yeah, I mean, I know that's the way football is now, though, the emotions, everyone.
I think the biggest thing you've got at the minute, though, you've got the two immovable objects that are still not being able to move until you see a win, and that is the black cloud that's gone, but it still leaves a trail of darkness. It's like I say, confidence is going to be less, and that's why I said, for me, the international break has probably come at a right time, because virtually all of the lads that have gone away and performed. They've had a bit of freshness. It's a bit of different football. They've not been hit by the same questions constantly by stupid bloody journos. So it's a release. That's what I'm saying. So what these guys have got to come back and do now is continue with that fresh-mindedness, go forward and be positive, and forget what's happened. Embrace the newbies that have come on board, and like I say, give them time. And I think we all know that Eddie is a very patient man. We know that, but Boki's right to a degree. I think it's not squeaky bum time, but as these results keep going against you, it becomes very much a squeaky bum time, because again, the distance, we're 17th now. We should never be in 17th. And if it wasn't for individuals that just let the club down at the wrong time, we wouldn't be 17th. But this is us. We've got to take it on the chin, and we've got to take every step forward now as if we're going into battle. And that's what I said. Everybody's got to pull their big band socks on and really go for it.
On paper, though, it is the perfect game that you would ask for to try and kickstart the season, with obviously eventually getting players in. I mean, I'm just looking there. Wolves at home. Let's say, I don't care really in the mannerism at all, as long as we get over the line, because that's going to give us some confidence going in. We've then got Barcelona at home. We've then got Bournemouth away. Now, Bournemouth are proven still, with players that's leaving, that they're a game for anybody. Then got Bradford in the Cup, and then we've got Arsenal at home. If you don't beat Wolves, you could go another, and then after that, you've got Forest at home, who, again, that's no gimme. So you could be going in 7 games into the season without first. So for me, I think it's a massive statement game that if we don't win it, we could be looking back in 2 months going, that was the opportunity that we didn't take. So I think it's really important what the message that he sends out, especially with it being at home. We've got to make sure we get a result on Saturday for me.
Yeah, I was just looking at Colin's just sent me the transfer spending since 2016, 2017. It's a really interesting read, but we'll save that for another show, I think, because it's
net.
This is net spending, yeah. So you can see exactly where everybody is from that. So that's an interesting one. Thanks, Connor, for that one. But that's it then, ladies and gents. Thank you so much for joining us here at NUFC Talk TV with myself, the Geordie Yam Yam. We've got the Mighty Win. We've got Andy Bell. We've got Boki, and we've got the imposter, Peter, the other twin.
Tim, really.
Well, yeah, Tim too.
It might be Peter.
It might be
No,
Peter.
no,
We never
Peter
know.
won.
Yeah, Peter won. We'll never know.
I'll let the viewers decide.
Exactly. Exactly.
Is that Peter or Tim? Let's have your view.
Who knows?
People could start in the shop with the DNA testing to test. Apparently, DNA will be the same anyways, won't it? So,
I'm going to say that would be a waste of time, wouldn't
Can I
it?
just say, it doesn't matter which one it is. They both bleed black and white.
And they both give excellent contributions.
Indeed, they do. So it's a goodbye from all of them and all of them down there.
All of them and all of them and all of them.
Right, up for you.
And how are you, the lads?
And don't forget, we've got to say a massive thank you to the lads that have already thrown the super chats. Ian Fleming, thank you so much, buddy. Michael McIntyre, James Cuff, Irish Assassin, thank you so much for all your contributions. Much kindness shared. And until tomorrow, I'll see you then. Take care, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
How are you, the lads?
Lads.
Lasses and bairns.
Taxi for
That's it. Waiting for it.